Welcome back. This is episode 2 of us recreating a Fairbairn Sykes. Now, I made a Fairbairn Sykes 6 years ago. It's the second knife I ever made. I've always loved the design, and I do love daggers. This black one is a production model. We are making ours out of stainless steel and a little bronze. And in the last episode, I slipped everywhere with the files and the burrs and scratched it all up, and so today I've been cleaning it up inside the flutes, and then on the lathe with the sandpaper, outside the flutes, then inside the flutes again. And you'd have to have a very keen eye to even be able to tell what has changed. But it looks quite pretty. Now at this stage right now, I'm trying to think a little bit about the grip. Now, of course, we did the flutes because they look pretty. It's interesting and it's a little bit more unique. This original version here with these ribs provides just a little bit more grip. And so I kind of want to work out how I could get some more grip on here in a way that complements the existing design style. Now, whatever it is that I do to texture this needs to also suit the planned finish, which is a black Cerakote finish. So paint's got to be able to stick into whatever texture that we make, and it's got to be able to stay there reliably. So one of my ideas was to stipple it using a point on the end of my graver, kind of like the background stuff that we do on engraved pieces. But I don't think it's going to hold the paint very well. So my idea today is finding something like this. This is a 2.5mm burr, high-speed steel. See what a little texture with this looks like. Definitely provides grip, that's for sure. I do find it very shiny though. I feel like it does a little bit too much reflecting and not enough blackening. I'd like something a little more matte. So now I want to try the stippling, because if I could do a really heavy stipple, I feel like we'd have success with the paint. A light stipple, no. Heavy stipple, yes. Can't tell if it's less shiny or more shiny.
Well, it's more shiny because you haven't put bloody ink in it.
Ink sounds a lot fancier than Sharpie though, doesn't it? Okay, that's a massive improvement, is it not? You've got Sharpie all over your finger now.
I'm still not certain that this is deep enough. Once you Cerakote that, it's just going to be smooth.
You think?
I think so, yeah.
I could agree with you.
I think it's going to be too fine. Okay,
so I could use a tinier burr. Let's try that. First one was 2.5mm, this is 1.5mm. Now we're trying a 1mm. I feel like we're off to a winner with the 1mm burr. What are you thinking, Jamie? Are we on to a winner?
Yeah, I think it's definitely looking the best one.
It grips good, better than the stippling, and it's kind of capturing the light nice. So we've got options. We could texture the entire thing. We could texture the entire thing minus the flutes. We could texture bands and leave the flutes untextured. We could texture bands that are also in the middle. The options are endless.
I don't think you should texture it inside the flutes.
I agree with that.
That's a bad idea.
What about the rest of it?
Maybe it's going to have to be to this left.
You think? Just the flute area? I can be on board with that.
But then again, who knows? You might do it and it just looks like a mess.
Quick interruption, as this video was produced in partnership with Foreo, Swedish beauty tech brand. But hang on a second, I'm talking about some great gift ideas. If your significant other likes to treat themselves, to feel beautiful, go to the spa, but doesn't quite have time, Foreo has some fantastic products. And specifically today, we're talking about the WW2, which is a handy little device combining 5 of the most popular spa treatments to now do at home. We're talking T-sonic massage to relax muscle tension and boost radiance, full spectrum LED light to help the skin look revitalized, and there's a range of masks to go with it, providing the skin with immediate and long-lasting hydration in just 2 minutes. My wife has been a fan of Foreo products for a long time, and I know that she is going to enjoy this gift, as she is very passionate about her skincare. So if you're looking for a great gift for your significant other, I hope that you go to the link down below. Check out the range of products that they have, especially the WW2. Thanks again to Foreo for partnering with us. Let's get back to the video. All right, might as well use the old microscope. Make some proper accurate stuff right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I used that to make some Damascus steel a few months ago.
Yeah, you did. Look at this. How cool is that?
It almost looks like bejeweled.
It does. Which is the complete opposite of what we want. But It's gonna take the ink of the Cerakote very nicely, and the grip is phenomenal. Have a feel of that grippy boy.
Very grippy.
Super nice. But there is a problem, which is, in the process of doing this little stippling here with the ball burrs, I have slipped. Not once, not twice. 6, 7, 8, 12, 15.
We get it, you suck at stippling.
6. I've slipped a lot. So I have to clean up all the flutes that we've already cleaned up. It's always a case of a little 2-step forwards, 1 step back, clean up the flutes, should be right as rain. Super grippy. This thing is not going anywhere.
How many dots do you think you've got on there?
It's got to be in the thousands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 3,456. The next step on the handle is we need to cut off this lump here and prepare the end. Tiny refresher, on this example, it has a countersink, which quite nicely allows for the nut to center it all up on the tang. But I can't hold that in the lathe because it's round and it's finished and polished. So I'm going to need to hold it on the lathe this way. Ta-da. Woo! Okay, so the handle can now go to the side because the next and last thing it needs is to be sandblasted before Cerakoting.
We're gonna have to do that to the blade as well.
Yes, so everything needs to be Cerakoted. We want it all black, and I think it's gonna look very cool. But speaking of the blade, we need to make it. Our stainless is about 2 blade widths wide, which means that once I cut this in half, I could take 1/2 and stress test it to see if the material that we've got, how it's heat treated, is going to work well. How about we start with a little bend, hey? Phew. I'm very glad that bends instead of breaking. That's what we want. Nice. Woo! Betsy! I don't know really what I'm looking at, but it felt plenty strong. This is the hammer the ash board test. I like it. This is the hammer the brass rod test. It looks good. Make a marker where that is. Just the slightest little edge deformation from those corner blows. The brass took a little more damage. How about cutting steel? Just deformed, didn't chip. Yeah, baby. Get some. Oh no, the edge bent a little bit from cutting steel rod.
So you think it's strong enough to make the blade out of?
I 100% think it is strong enough to make the blade out of, because it's definitely never gonna be cold cutting steel rod or hammered onto brass bar. The trouble is, I can't just sketch around the outside of this because the thing is out of true, it's all bent and wobbly. Oh wow, would you look at that? It's really hard to file hardened stainless steel. Yup, that ain't working. So we've been making progress. It kind of looks like a dagger. We've been making progress on the profile, as well as using a file guide to true up these shoulders, a file guide we conveniently sell. And I've begun radiusing this tang because, of course, the milling that we did with the end mill left a half-round end to our slot. Now, on a stick tang knife like this, we, of course, need this back end of the tang to be threaded. One of the things that I always struggle with is this looking clean and neat. Whenever you grind these things round, they kind of look a bit crusty. And then whenever you thread it and the round bit looks a bit crusty, the thread looks extra crusty. I'd like it to be neat. If only there was a way to put this in the lathe. If there is, I'm gonna try and find it out. Now, of course, I'm not gonna be getting a bit of flat bar inside a 3-jaw chuck. There is no way on earth that's gonna happen. But maybe if I could stick this tang end in a little slot and then put a live center on the tang end, we could make that round. Ha! Would you believe it? It's bloody hard. Jamie, I cannot believe how well this is working. Now we're cutting the thread. Glorious. It is just glorious. The thread looks straight. It had to happen one day. One day I had to actually do a half-decent job. Moment of truth. Yes, it threads. All right, so now we need our center lines on the edges. Wrong color. Jamie, are you colorblind? Here's where we're at. I actually quite like how our plunge lines are looking. The file guide's helping us a lot. I also brought the width down a little bit more, so it's a little bit more slender, and I like it. Big thank you to 4AO for partnering with us on this video. Check them out down below. As ever, please go check out our bladesmithing and blacksmithing tools and equipment at the Alec Steele Co. I look forward to seeing you in the next part of this series, because as we finish this up, we're gonna be learning all about how to do at-home cerakoting. See ya.